Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. I hope that you are all enjoying this beautiful Thursday. The weather here in South Carolina is rather nice. So I'm going to take you guys along with me as I do just a general cleaning in my home. It's Thursday afternoon. I just got off work. So I'm just going to clean a little. And if you have any cleaning to do, join in. We can clean together. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. So the floral arrangement that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video are actually my flowers from last week. They finally bloomed. I think they look absolutely beautiful, so I'm gonna let them go until they start to fall or wither away. But in the meantime, I wanted to enjoy them just a little longer if possible. My goal for today originally was to paint the accent wall in Jeremiah's room with you guys and finish caulking. I still have both bathrooms and Jeremiah's room to caulk so that my home is fully sealed correctly. But I've been running, walking, jogging, getting in 3 miles every single day. It was originally supposed to be Monday through Friday, but I have been feeling it. So I worked out every single day, and my body just doesn't have the strength today to paint. I just don't. So I thought we would clean together today. I didn't work out at all today. Well, I did an abdominal workout this morning, and I will do another abdominal workout before I take my bath this afternoon. I'm really feeling this fitness journey. I'm not obsessed with my weight, so I'm in perimenopausal and it fluctuates and goes up and down, so I'm not chasing a number on a scale. I told you guys I watched my father battle cancer for 8 years, and I know what it looks like when someone values fitness the way my father did prior to cancer and still get cancer and not be able to eat the things that he absolutely enjoyed. So I don't deprive myself. I do everything in moderation, but I will never, as long as I live, diet. But I am loving the extra energy that I have. With perimenopause, I'm experiencing a ton of brain fog, and I do notice that working out has improved my brain fog. Well, I'm down to drinking coffee twice a day, so that might help too. But I just was too exhausted today to paint, so I have to clean anyway. I clean every day. So I thought this would be the perfect thing to take you guys along. I keep telling you that everything you bring in, you have to take care of. And a home is no different. It's daily maintenance, and running a home, it helps to create peace when you come up with a cleaning routine so that you don't get too overwhelmed. But clean surfaces make a huge difference for me, and you may be the same. For dinner tonight, I'm just making a regular seafood boil. It's been quite some time since we've had one. Jeremiah has been doing a lot of cooking lately. He is in love with cooking. I told you guys that several times, but I'm gonna give him a break. He had a big game yesterday, so today and the rest of the week, I just want him to relax. He loves cooking, but I think he needs to get to bed a little earlier. We are struggling to get up in the morning. Well, he is struggling. So I'm cooking a seafood boil tonight and making some iced tea or sweet tea for us to have for the week. And that's pretty much that for dinner. So today I figured we can do a wellness check on one another. I want to know on a soul level how you're doing today, how you're feeling. I felt all week really good overall, but I felt like the content that I was consuming wasn't great for the mental space I want to be in. Like, I'm at peace and my life is happy. But when I'm watching content, especially when they're like venting or what is it called, ranting about grocery prices and rent prices and HOAs and all of those things, feeding my mind too much of that doesn't serve me. And I don't have much social media. If you're new here, I don't have Facebook or Instagram. I used to have a TikTok, but I don't use it anymore. So all I watch is YouTube. But I have been consuming a lot of the layoff content, like people who lost their jobs 9, 10 months ago and they're still looking for employment. I've been watching a lot of that content because I'm using it as a learning tool. Typically, I'd like to think if I'm out of work, I would just be out of work for a couple months. But if I'm out of work longer, what's the plan? And I'm listening to the tips and tricks that they're using, writing it down, pretty much educating myself so I'm fully prepared. When there's one income, education, in my opinion, is key. And someone who is currently going through something can teach me a lot more about the situation than I currently know about it. But I want to know how you guys are doing and what are you feeding your soul? I made the decision back in February that I wasn't going to consume the news. To this day, I do not watch the news. I live in an area that is highly affected by hurricanes. So I've been watching the hurricane tracker or logging in to see the hurricane tracker. But I don't consume any news, and I realize it has done a lot for minimizing my level of anxiety, and it's helped me to own in on keeping my home peaceful. I'm not always anxious and worried about what's going on in the world. I don't know. And ignorance for me in that sense is bliss. I'm just creating safety nets for myself and putting all my trust in the Lord, truly. But I just want to make sure that we're all doing things to keep us whole, not consuming things that bring us down and things that, even if the situation is bad, things that don't offer a solution. I try to use everything as a tool for education. Like, I can look at content about a layoff because when I'm looking at it, I'm looking through the vantage point of a student. I have never gone through a long-term layoff, like 8 or 10 months. And so I have no experience of it, but there are several content creators who have mortgages, car payments, credit card debt. They have a lot more overhead than I do. And they've been laid off for, like I said, 8 to 10 months, and they're still making the mortgage on time. They're still getting their payments on time. So they've been able to create additional stream of income, utilize side hustles, and all of those things are great things for me to know. If I was ever in that situation, I could pull out my notes and realize like I do have options, even though it may feel like it. I told you guys how I saved a year's worth of expenses, but you are never in a position where you shouldn't be open to being educated. And the things that we consume, make sure that is propelling us forward. Hearing about high grocery prices or getting into the space of listening to those rants don't serve me, because there isn't a solution. I told you guys how I am obsessed with the YouTube channel My Tribe of Many, because I have one child that's home. I'm a mom of two, but I have one adult and one that's home. And the creator and the mom in My Tribe of Many has many more children than I do. And her husband have facilitated an amazing life. But I've learned so much in a short period of time from her. I stockpile, but they stockpile on a greater level. She makes a lot of their foods from scratch. It's very rare, or I haven't seen any of her hauls so far where she had any prepackaged foods. They make pasta, they make, like, if they're eating meatballs, they're just using regular ground beef and making it. They make their own breads. Most of the desserts, well, all of the desserts I've seen be made, they make them themselves. And so all of those things facilitate a new lens for me and gives me a new perspective on seeing things. And so mentally, I want us all to focus on how we can grow as individuals. I think sometimes we look at other people's situation and dream of the day we can have it. And you can. There's nothing that you're exposed to that you can have. God is putting you in connection to someone who is living a life somewhat close to what you want so that you can have it. And even the things that may not seem like positive things, like I told you, the layoff, all offer educational information that we should take in and learn from it. We're all interconnected. No one is better than the next person. So the same way someone else can experience a long layoff, so could I, so could you. What are our plans? If we're in that situation, what are our plans? And of course, you can learn so much from, like I said, someone who is in the midst of that. If you have a smaller family, watching a mother navigate and successfully raise many more children than you currently have is always a tool you could learn from. Managing just one child who plays several sports is a task, and if she can do it with more, I can definitely do it with one. Just watch her content and take what I can from it. It's okay to vent. That's a natural human reaction to uncertain times. But at the end of the day, before you go to bed at night, what solutions are you coming up with for the situation? I'm really in a space this week where I'm really paying attention to my soul, trying to really pay attention to the things that I feed my soul. And I'm imploring us all to do the same. Things are different. Inflation is a real thing. The prices of the goods and services that we have been paying for years has increased. That's a reality. And we can all feel frustrated because that's our reality. But at the end of the night, you have to create a solution for your family. Regardless of the prices, we still have to feed the kids. What can we do to still feed them within the budget that we have? Like I said, my tribe of many is showing me that you can save money by just buying the raw materials and making the meals. Learning from other people who have tighter budgets than you and they're managing to maneuver in this economy. Every opportunity provides a learning situation. Let's learn from one another. Like, let's create a space where we're learning. Don't get caught up in content that doesn't feed the soul and propel you forward, because you're going to need that. Money matters. And we all manage money from a place of stability much better than we do when we're anxious, when we're worried, when we feel desperate. Let's create the gap between us and poverty by just doing small things. And we all can do that. We all can learn from one another, adjust in the way that we need to, and we'll get there. But this video is more about us gauging our souls. And I'm really in this space where I told you guys I'm reading one chapter of Psalms and one chapter of Proverbs every single night. And I am learning more from songs and Proverbs than any other books I've read. Because originally my journey was to read the whole Bible. But just reading Psalms and Proverbs has been transformational for me. And in Proverbs, God talks so much about a wise man takes good counsel, or a good man takes wise counsel, which means if you're trying to be a good person, be a wise person, live a life that is tranquil and peaceful, that does feel like you have a life of leisure, you have to be a wise person and heed good counsel. Make sure that everything that you're exposing yourself to, or the vast majority of the things that you're exposing you're exposing yourself to, educates you and propels you forward. Like, that's biblical. And also understand that your words have power. We all get frustrated. We all feel sometimes like we want to vent about the things that are going on in our lives, but your words have power. From your mouth to God's ear, everything that you say, He hears. And He can only speak life into a situation, or breathe life into a situation that you're speaking life into. It's important that you don't focus so much on how things are. You do your part. You put the work in, because you can't just send up a prayer but do nothing. You have to do your part. He can move. If your prayer is, I don't want to struggle financially all the time, how are you stewarding the money that you have? When you give God that prayer and you're stewarding your money, you're showing Him that you can be trusted with more. The resources that you currently have, how are you stewarding them? God said you always want to be a good steward. Showing that you can adequately steward what you have allows God to enter in and give you more. I think it's important that we understand that there is blessings in the now. There are blessings in where we are and what we have. And oftentimes we spend so much time focused on what's next, we miss the now. Things are tight, but if this week you ate every single day, you fed your kids every single day, that's a reason to give God praise and be happy. If in your cabinet, after feeding you and your children all week, there were items that you can be creative with and create additional meals for you and your kids, that's a reason to give God praise. But at a soul level, in the midst of all the inflation, all the craziness, uncertainty, all the things that are going on in the world, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know about any current events. So sorry. But in the midst of it all, how are you protecting the inner workings of your home and the inner workings of your soul? What are you feeding, saying, speaking into your life currently that's a hindrance? And how do we all remove it? We all notice things, so it's naive of us to act like it's not a reality. But we have the power to change this atmosphere and change the language that we're feeding ourselves. And I really want us to check our souls today. I think part of a soul check is letting ourselves off the hook. There are things we are all doing well. What are the things that you're doing well, and how do you get better at them? What are the things that you're struggling with? Because we're all struggling with something. I truly believe we're all interconnected. No one is greater than the next person, that we're all in the same space, trying to be the best version of ourselves and facilitate a life for us and our family. The things that you're not so good at or you're struggling with in this moment, what's one small thing this week you can set for yourself to do? Like, I don't like that I procrastinate. That might be an issue. So decide that I'm going to whatever and actually hold yourself accountable to do it. And then once you accomplish that goal, another area that you're struggling, set a goal, keep the first goal, and just continue to add on to it. We're all in a space where we're working to be the best versions of ourselves, and in many ways we fall short, but never give up, keep trying, and understand that this is just a short period of time. This space you're not gonna be in this space forever. Money ebbs and flows. When it is low, what can you do to survive this time? When finances are great, how can you store what you have so that it will help you when money is low? We all have to come up with a provision and a plan for each season of life. Accept where you are, but continue to strive for greater. Understand the power that you have in your words and speak life into every situation. At the core, we all got this. Even if we don't feel that way all the time, we got this. We just have to have a plan. We just have to work it out. And each one of us is teaching the next person. Align yourself with content. Align yourself with people that will speak life into the situation or will open your eyes to a new perspective. We're all students, so don't hesitate to be open to learning. And I think that's what's feeding my soul and keeping me at peace. That I know that God is still on the throne. I know that He fully has me. And I also know that I am no greater than the person next to me. And there is so much, regardless of the situation, that I'm able to learn from their situation. But surrounding myself with wise people or wise content or soul edifying content helps. Aligning myself with people who have a positive outlook on life, people who are striving to be their best version of themselves and facilitate a life that's great for them and their family, even if it isn't my version of what I want my life to be. Just that they're setting goals and working their hardest to accomplish them. It's an opportunity to learn. Open up our eyes to the good things and understand that we are all in connection to someone only solely for educational purposes. I'm going to leave you guys with this. You're victorious. You are more than a conqueror. You are going to accomplish all of the goals that you set for yourself. You got this. Stay encouraged. Never surrender your power, because you are so powerful and we have it. We truly do. Guard your soul. Watch your tongue. Speak power into the situation, regardless of what it is in this current moment. You are all in my prayer. I wish you the best. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.